I remember the moment like it was etched into my bones, the cold slap of laughter echoing in the auditorium as they tore apart my theories, calling me a fool, a dreamer with delusions. My voice, my passion, dismissed as childish nonsense. The crowd's snickers, my family's stern faces twisting with contempt, as if my very existence was an embarrassment to everything they believed in. That day, I felt the weight of their rejection crush my spirit, and I wondered if I'd ever find a way back from that darkness. But deep inside, beneath the pain and the humiliation, something refused to die. I was a bioacoustic ecologist, an outsider in a world that scoffed at the idea that animal sounds held the key to saving endangered species. My theories, my dreams, they weren't just fanciful notions. They were a calling, a purpose I couldn't abandon. So I turned away from the disbelievers and dedicated myself to decoding the language of the wild, to listening to the whispers of creatures no one else paid attention to. Years passed. I faced relentless skepticism, professional ostracism, and countless setbacks. My work was ridiculed as quackery. I was called a bird whisperer, a joke, a distraction from real science. But I persisted. Night after night, I sat in the shadows of forests and wetlands, tuning into the symphony of life around me. Slowly, I learned to interpret the songs, the calls, the subtle shifts in frequency that revealed the health of ecosystems, the stress of species on the brink of extinction. And then, something extraordinary happened. My research turned into a revolutionary conservation strategy, one that used bioacoustic data to restore barren lands, revive dying habitats, and protect endangered species in ways no one had ever imagined. Governments listened. NGOs adopted my methods. Land that was once considered dead and useless blossomed into thriving sanctuaries. I had proved them wrong. More than proved. I had transformed the landscape and ultimately myself. But the true test came when I decided to return home, to face the family I'd left behind, the skeptics who once mocked my dreams. I knew they'd still carry their doubts, their judgments, but I was ready. I'd become more than just the bird whisperer. I was a pioneer, a change maker. I was living proof that persistence, faith, and listening to the unseen can reshape worlds. The day of my return, I called into the driveway of the house I'd once called home, a modest, weathered place filled with memories of laughter and doubt. As I stepped out of the car, I saw my family gathered on the porch, their eyes narrowing as they recognized me. My father, his face lined with age and stubbornness, looked like he was about to speak, but I raised my hand. "Mom, Dad," I said softly but with unwavering conviction, "I want you to see what your doubts couldn't hold back." I led them into the backyard, where I had set up a small portable bioacoustic station. I pressed play. The air filled instantly with the vibrant chorus of a thriving wetland songbirds, frogs, the distant call of a heron. My family's eyes widened as they listened, stunned into silence. I explained how my father's jaw tightened, then loosened as realization dawned. My mother clutched her chest, eyes brimming with tears. My sister looked at me with awe, and for the first time, I saw the shadows of their skepticism lift, replaced by something deeper. Respect, perhaps, or the slow recognition that I had fought against everything they believed and had still come through. They had dismissed me as a fool, a bird whisperer, an eccentric dreamer. But now they faced the living proof that I had created something real, something powerful, that my obsession with the language of animals wasn't frivolous, but a vital key to saving our planet. In that moment, I felt their judgment fall away. Not because I demanded it, but because the land and its creatures bore witness. They saw the fruits of my relentless pursuit, the ecosystems I had nurtured, the species I had saved, the hope I had seeded in a world that often forgets the importance of listening. And I realized something profound. Success isn't just about the accolades or the recognition. It's about staying true to your purpose, even when the whole world doubts you. It's about listening to the whispers of your soul, even when others dismiss your voice as noise. Because sometimes the most unlikely voices, those of the smallest birds, the quietest streams, carry the messages that can change everything. As I stood there, watching my family witness the jungle reborn in their backyard, I knew I'd won more than just a battle of reputation. I'd won a lesson in resilience, in faith, in the power of listening with your heart. The very thing they once mocked was now the cornerstone of a legacy that would outlive us all. And in that victory, I found my peace. I had proved that no dream is too ridiculous if you believe in it fiercely enough. That sometimes the greatest triumphs come from the quietest voices, and that listening can be the most revolutionary act of all.